Hi guys, welcome to Excel Maths Sci. Today we'll be looking at a question here where we have a circle with a center C, 8, 12, and the point P, 5, 13, lies on the circle as shown. And we have here the y-intercept of the tangent line. So it says find the equation of the tangent at P. Now in order to find the tangent at P, what we need to do, we need to figure out the gradient of PT. And how do we go about doing that? Well, if you think about this, if you have a line which is tangent to the circle, and if you draw a line from the tangent right to the center, that forms a 90 degree angle. In other words, the line will be perpendicular to that. So we can use the fact that this line PC will be perpendicular to the tangent, and then what we can do, we can find the gradient of this line PC. So let's write the coordinates down. So we've got P, which is 5, 13, and we've got C, which is 8, 12. So let's call this x1, y1, x2, y2. And using the following formula for the gradient, which is m is equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 x1. So then that would give me, so y2 is 12 minus 13 over 8 minus 5, 8 minus 5, and that will give me minus 1 over 3. And we know, so that will be the gradient for, let's call this m1, okay? And let's call the gradient for the tangent m2. And for perpendicular lines, we know the product of the two gradients, the perpendicular lines, will be equal to minus 1. So we know m is minus 1 over 3. So therefore, and that would be m2, which that should equal to minus 1. So we know that m2 must equal to 3. So now that we've got the gradient of the tangent, now what we can do, we can use a point P, which is 5, 13, and of course using m as 3, and substituting all this into the following equation. And this would be my A, and this would be my B. And substituting this into the equation, I would get, so y, so the B is of course 13, m, which is 3, x minus, now A is 5. So if I multiply everything out, so I'll get 3x, 3 times 5 is negative 15. Now of course I'm going to take my 13 to the other side, it will become a plus 13. So my final answer would be y is equal to 3x minus 2. That would be part A done. And that would be the equation of my tangent. Now the next part says the tangent from P meets the y-axis at point T. State the coordinates of T. Well, when you're asked to state in an exam, some students say, well, how do I know when I need to work something out? Well, when they say state, it just means that you've got that information there already. So we know that this equation of the tangent's in the form mx plus c, and c is the y-intercept. So the point T is your y-intercept, and of course you just get that from there. And at that point, x is equal to 0. So that coordinate would be 0 minus 2. I'm just going to move this up a bit. And the next part, of course, which is part 2, B2, we're asked to find the equation of the circle that passes through the points CPT. So in other words, the circle passes through these points. So what I'm going to do, I'll see if I can draw a wee circle in there. Okay, so here's my circle, and it's going through point C. I'll just write the point C. I think that's kind of covered up the points there. So point C is 812. And of course t, we said this was 0 minus 2. And we can see p is 513. Now what we need to do, in order to find the equation of a circle, we need the center of the circle, and we also need the radius. So what we can do, we can use these 2 points here. That'll be my diameter, and I can use the distance formula to work out the diameter, and then of course just half that to get the radius. So that would be d is equal to, that's x2 minus x1 all squared plus y2 minus y1 all squared. So, and the coordinates I'll be using are, so I'll just write them here, and that's the c, and of course I'm going to be using t, which is 0 minus 2. Let's call this x1, and that's y1, that's x2, y2. So then that would give me the following. So that's 0 minus 8 all squared plus minus 2 minus 12 all squared. And that would equal to, so I've got square root of, so that's 8 squared is 64 plus, so I've got minus 2 minus 12. That's 196. It would be, well, it'll be minus 14 square, minus 14, that'll give me 196. Then that would equal to, so let's work that out. That would be square root of 260. I mean, I can simplify that. I can do root 4 times root 65, and that will give me 2 root 65. Remember, this is the diameter, and the radius is a half of the diameter d, so that would be basically 2 root 65 over 2, which will give me root 65. So that's my radius, the point root 65. Now I need to get the center. Now the center here, it will just be basically the midpoint of point C and T. So just midpoint. So we just use those coordinates to get the center. So we've got C, which is 12, 8, 12, and T, which is 0 minus 2. So then to get the midpoint and to get the center of circle would simply be the midpoint. So that would be 8 plus 0 divided by 2, and then of course 12 plus minus 2 divided by 2, and the center would be 4, and 12 plus minus 2 will be 10. 10 divided by 2, of course, is 5. So now that I've got the center and I've also got the radius, so the final equation of this circle would be x minus 4 all squared plus y minus 5 all squared, and of course it'll be r squared, so if you square the root 65, that would just be 65, and this would be my final answer. Okay guys, if you like the video, please give it a thumbs up, please subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to get the latest updates. Thank you for watching.